Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my 2023 TBRs. So these are the books that I want to read for 2023. So yeah, I bought a lot of books last year, so let's just get into it. So I wasn't able to read all of the books in my last year's TBR video, but I did read quite a bit. So for the books that I haven't read in my last year's list, I'm not going to be repeating those books, but if you'd like to know what those are, I'll have the video right up here in the I button, so you can just click on that video and watch that. So the first book that I would like to read in 2023 is Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. I planned on reading this last year in December, but I just didn't get to it. So this is going to be the first book that I'm reading for this year. Then the next book, this one is a classic. This is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. It's so pretty. I've been wanting to read this book for quite a while. I don't think I've ever read anything about like underwater stuff, like under the sea kind of explorations and stuff, so I thought this would be a really interesting book to read. And then another classic that I would like to read is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This book has been referenced so many times in like other pieces of literature that I've read, and I've never read it, so I thought it'd be good to finally start reading it. And then the next book that I would like to read, this is The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. So yeah, I just thought this would be an interesting book to read because I believe this will be talking about like immigrants in the US and like life as an immigrant in the US, specifically in the experience of an Asian woman back in this time of 1949. Okay, so the next book, I'm super excited to read this one. I've been wanting to read this book for the longest time. So this one is Eragon by Christopher Paolini. I've been wanting to read this book since I was a kid. Like ever since I saw this in the bookshelves in my elementary school library, I've been like hooked because it looks so cool. I don't know about you, but it looks so cool, and it's dragons. Like, who wouldn't want to read about dragons? So yeah, I'm super excited to read this one. I'm a little bit intimidated because this has like over 700 pages, I believe, which is insane. 754 pages. I really hope that I do get to reading this because I've been wanting to read this for so long. And I love fantasy. You know I love fantasy, so yeah, I'm excited to read this one. Hopefully I do get around to reading this year. So the next two books are part of a series. So I have Midnight for Charlie Bone and Charlie Bone and the Time Twister. These two are the first two books in this Charlie Bone series. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but Charlie Bone is one of my favorite series of all time, although I haven't really finished this series. I don't know if it was book 7 or book 8, but I just know I kind of stopped reading around there because I had to like read other stuff for school at the time, so I just didn't get around to finishing it. I was so happy when I found the hardcover version of Midnight for Charlie Bone on Shopee. This is again secondhand, and I was just so happy because I grew up reading the hardcover versions of the series, and I personally just like the illustrations of the hardcover versions better than the paperback ones, the other kind of paperback ones. I also just wanted to include more like middle grade and like children's books in my TBR because last year I read quite a bit of books with like heavier topics and like darker kind of stuff. So I just wanted to have more like light-hearted children's books and like middle grade type of books. So yeah. So for the next book, I think this one's also middle grade. So this is The School for Good and Evil by Soman Chinani. I don't know how to pronounce their name, I'm so sorry. I've seen this in National Bookstore like years ago, and ever since I saw it, I've been wanting to read it, but I just never bought it for some reason. Then recently, my older sibling was watching, I don't know what this is this like a series or like a movie, but I just remember them telling me that they were enjoying it, and then when they mentioned the title, I was like, that sounds familiar. And then I looked it up and it was this book, so I just thought maybe it's time to get this book and read it. So moving on into the last few books in this list, this next one is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. So as you know, I watch Christiane Jones here on YouTube, and she has recommended this book quite a few times, and it really stuck to me. So yeah, I just thought to get this one. This one was the only one that I found secondhand on Shopee. As you can see, that's why there's like some weird tapes and like some foxing and stuff, which is fine. I don't really mind those things. So yeah, I'm super excited to read this one. I am also a little bit intimidated because it's a thick book. So the second to last book in this list is How to Do the Work by Dr. Nicole LePera. I mentioned this book in my A Week in My Life video, I believe. I'll have the video up here again if you guys would like to watch that one. I follow Dr. Nicola Pera on Instagram, and I love her Instagram so much. Highly recommend it. I'll put it in the description below if you'd like to check her out. So yeah, I'm just excited to read this book. And this is a self-help book, if you can't already guess from the title. I'm gonna be trying to read more self-help books this year, because after reading You Are Here last year, I really wanted to start reading more like self-help books. And then the last book in this list, this one's another self-help book. This is Atomic Habits by James Clear. So this book was gifted to me by my friend, and I'm super thankful and grateful for her to gift me this. I've been wanting to read this book for so long, but I've just never gotten it because it's so pricey. I've been trying to find a secondhand book of this, but most of the ones that I see are just like reprints, and I personally just don't want to buy reprints. That's my personal choice. So I'm just so happy that she gifted this to me. Again, I've been wanting to read this book for so long, and I finally have it and I can read it now. I'm also going to be sharing this with my older sibling because we've been wanting to read this book. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Let me know down below if any of the books I've mentioned are also part of your TBR list. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!